So now we're going to talk about a second way of using the git rebase command. We can use it to rewrite history. We can edit commits. We can change commit messages. We can change the contents of a commit. We can drop or delete an entire commit. We can even reorder things using git rebase. So if you remember, I had this slide with not a peace sign, but two fingers, because there are two main ways to use the git rebase command. One is as an alternative to merging, as we've already discussed. You're probably exhausted from that, but that's one way of using it. But another way of using it is as a cleanup tool, and it allows us to do some of these things I've just mentioned, rewrite history. Now, of course, anytime we rewrite history, we don't want to be doing that on work that people already have, right? We don't want to rewrite commits and make new commit hashes and screw everything up if collaborators already have that work. But this is a common workflow if you've been working on a branch, you have lots of commits that maybe you've been working on this feature for a while, and you have some kind of half-baked commits or some buggy things or half-complete commits. If you want to go through and streamline that and combine commits down, rename them, that can be a nice thing to do before you share that code with anyone. So it's a step a lot of people take before sort of the grand unveiling of their branch, of their feature. So the way that we do this is a little bit different. We use the git rebase command, but typically we don't actually specify a branch to rebase onto. Instead, we're just going to rebase a series of commits onto the head that they are currently based on. So instead of rebasing onto the master branch, for example, or the main branch, we'll rebase whatever branch we're on, my feature. We'll rebase that branch onto where it currently is, my feature. So it's just a way of recreating commits. Every commit that we specify, and we do have to provide a range. How far do we want to go back? In this case, 4 commits. I want to go back 4 commits, recreate each one. And then we pass in this -i flag, this -i option. It stands for interactive, and I'll show you what that does in the next video. It's a very different way of rebasing than what we've seen so far. But remember that the git rebase command, in the ways that, or the previous way that we saw how to use it as an alternative to merge, what it did was it went through all the commits on some branch, and it recreated each one, right, at the tip of a branch. So it doesn't matter where in this example, but it recreates each commit from this feature branch, minus those merge commits because they're not necessary. So each commit got a new hash, but it had the same contents, it had the same message, same commit message, but they're distinct commits. Using the interactive mode with this -i, it gives us the ability to instead say, as you're making this new commit, change the name or drop it. Don't make a new version of this one. So this is the basic syntax. In the next video, I'm going to demo it using a repository I've set up that you can clone as well. If you want to follow along, it's kind of fun. And I'll walk through that in the next video.